Yeah, it's hot as shit out here today. Um, Dealing with this PRW roller rocker setup. So I'll tell you what I figured out. That yeah, you got to put these on. You got to put these on right and left, not left and right, apparently. Because if you do put it on left and right, you're gonna end up in the same situation that I had and I posted in my first video. Now I kind of jumped the gun. I should have probably waited to see what I was gonna do before I posted that, but it is what it is. It's out there now, and I'm not gonna take it down. You know, maybe I should, but anyways, yeah, put the right on the left and on the left on the right, and you'll be fine. And you'll be able to fit your push rods in there. I got my push rod checker here in there, just loose, and it's still got to get adjusted out and everything. And I got my Howard's hydraulic roller there. But yeah, um, totally jumped the gun on that video. Should have waited. Should have figured out what my issue was. But I really thought, I really thought there was an issue with this setup. But hindsight, you know, I think that if it was a bad setup, people would have said something a long time ago. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't use iron heads in this kind of a situation with a hydraulic roller cam, but that's the route I took, and I'm committed now. And honestly, if I could afford a nicer set of heads, I would have done it. Did I do any port work? No. It's totally stock, so I'm gonna be down on power, all that stuff, but I wanted the reliability, and I also did not want, when I started to buy things for this build, it was during COVID, and just everybody having issues with you know, flat tappets. I really didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have catastrophic failure right out of the gate. So I have built engines with flat tappet cams and had success. But when you had just a separate pandemic on top of the pandemic, you know, the pandemic I'm talking about is with the hydraulic flat tappet, or solid flat tappets even, I'm not sure, but it was its own sort of pandemic. So that's why I went with hydraulic roller. I went with the smallest that I could. What I did was I called up Lunati, told them what I had, gave them my specs, told them what I plan on doing with the car, that, you know, I wasn't going to go crazy, probably run manifolds instead of headers, probably run, you know, like a stock intake or maybe a performer intake, something like that. And that's what they came up with. They came up with the cam that I got and the cam I put in. So there probably would have been better, cheaper choices, who knows, but this is my first hydraulic roller engine that I've done, and I don't have a lot of experience building engines, period. I count on maybe one hand engines that I've actually not even really built, just assembled. You know, I understand there's a difference between building an engine and assembling an engine, and if anything, I'm just an assembler. So I apologize for misinformation or the you know, jumping the gun, making a video. Wasn't really trying to blast PRW. but I was genuinely pissed off, thinking that I had to start grinding on these hold downs, and that just wasn't the case. I hope you stay tuned. I'm going to finish this setup soon, hopefully, and get it in the car, and I can't wait to out on the road. I've had it for about 10 years now. Well, 12 years maybe, and I've never driven it. The farthest I've gotten with it was pulling it out of my driveway, turning it around, and pulling it back in. And that was with the old engine. Turned out to be total disaster, and I'm glad I didn't try to take that out on the road and road trip it, because it had a crack in the lifter valley. It had a crack from here to here. It was bad, and it was so greasy and dirty and gacky inside that I couldn't even tell. And the machine shop was the one that found it, and it was after they had run it through their jet wash, and they noticed that, you know, steam was rushing inside, and then, you know, and that's when they discovered it had a big crack in it. So I got the call that everybody dreads. They're like, yeah, you got a junk motor here. I don't know what you want to do with it, but it's going to cost you way more to fix than to get another block. So that's what I did, and this is probably not what everybody else would choose, but it's you know, it's an industrial 440. It's got, you know, I don't know, it's in good shape. The guy that I bought it from seemed to know his big blocks, and he just had it sitting around for a long time and wanted it to get used. He didn't want it to just sit around. And actually, it's got he scribed the date in it when it was machined. You can see that 10/7 of 07. So yeah, it sat around for quite a while, and he said he was never going to get to it. Matter of fact, he was selling stuff off. So I decided to scoop it up and build it. So if you're wondering why I had paint inside and everything, that's why. And I understand that, you know, acetone is a paint thinner, you know, whatever. But I guess I should have, in that video where I was stripping the paint off the inside, I should have also said that brake clean was taking the paint off. And that's fine for the outside, but I didn't want that on the inside. I felt like, you know, with this modern oil, with the cleaners and stuff they add into it, that it would just eventually, you know, degrade the paint, and then the paint would have ended up in the oiling system. So that was a call I made, and I also had other people make that suggestion to get it out of there. So that's what I did, and agree with it or not, whatever. I don't think it was a mistake. I think, you know, I probably could have left it, or I could have, you know, put some, what do you call it, stuff in there, you know, not glycol, whatever you call it, Gliptol. Could have put Gliptol in there, but I just decided that I'm just gonna leave it cast. And so anyways, I'm rambling. Appreciate everybody watching my videos, and like I said, when I was introducing myself to the channel, that, you know, I am an average guy, and I will make mistakes. I will try to not make mistakes, but I will make mistakes. It's important to address those, not try to hide them and cover up that these mistakes, because people learn from mistakes. I know I learned from my mistakes, and hopefully other people will learn from them so they don't have to make them. And I think that's mature way of handling it. So it's kind of egg on my face, kind of feel like an idiot, but I think it's important for me to come on here and correct myself and address that I'm still learning. I'm not professional. And if you are professional and you have advice, feel free to leave it. If you're just gonna post negative stuff, which I haven't had any of that, luckily, on this channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that watches. I appreciate everybody that subscribes. I appreciate everybody that likes and shares my videos. And hopefully this will continue on, and I'll be able to put up more content, and I'll have stuff that's interesting to watch. Hopefully some road trips in the future. But until then, I've said enough. I'm just going to go, and take care and stay tuned for the next video. Later.